Good evening and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. This is Kristen and I am back with day 17's 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life and Scraptember with Laura Alberts and the Scrappy Sisters. And this is our sketch for day 17. And the prompt from the Scrappy Sisters is sequins. So this sketch is by the fabulous Laura Alberts, and it has one large photo, a bunch of paper layers, some journaling, a title, and I think a border down here. So I am going to stick pretty close to this, except I am going to turn it either this way or this way, because the picture I have is this patriotic picture that I took at my in-laws for 4th of July. And so I want to use this. So here is my picture that I already matted on red. And I have this really cool mixed media piece that I want to use. And then the papers that I'm using are very patriotic and star-sprinkled bannery. And then the other things that I'm going to bring in are these stickers that I have no clue where they're from. I'm sure I cut the top off. Whoever created these. And because that is our prompt, I have my sequins. So it is mostly going to be a paper layout. I will, I think that other than the sequins and I think the majority of or all of this sticker sheet, I am mostly just going to be working with the paper and the sequins. So let's see how this goes. So to get started, I had pre-cut the red paper that's directly behind the picture and went ahead and matted it. And then I loosely cut the red paper that's behind the mixed media page and also put double-sided tape on the back of that. I made this blue background with London Blue Delusions shimmer spray, and I made a stencil on my Cricut with just some paper, and I put a graph down, and when I sprayed it, I ended up loving it so much, but I didn't use it for the page that I had built it for, and so I saved it for this page, and I ended up trimming it down. There were actually 2 more lines of those little wonky rectangles, but I didn't want it to be, it would have been about 9 or 10 inches wide had I not trimmed it down, and been a huge paper mat. So I trimmed it down. I put my picture up on foam behind the first red mat, and I used that the one-sided sticky foam that I got at Walmart, and it is fabulous. I love it. So I love how that stands up off the paper or off the page, because there's so much gorgeous paper going on this page that I just wanted to make sure that it was the focus. I mean, that bright green background in the picture and that fabulous slide help, but I really wanted that picture just to pop. So I took all of these strips, I made them 2 inches, and I wanted them to be similar to what is in the sketch, where the one closest to the picture on both sides was a smidge smaller than the base page that the picture's matted on, and then a little smaller. So I went through and I decided I would do the red and white stripes because they were more, that color red was closer to the color in the matting. The one on the far outside is more of a burgundy color, and I love the paper, and I don't mind that there's like that burgundy red and that different shades of blue as well. I think that it looks really good. I love the way that it turned out. but that's why I separated it with the blue star paper so that it would not be that red right on top of the darker burgundy color. So I trim these papers down, and the red and white star is approximately 7 inches. Then the blue star is, I think, about 6.5. And then the blue and white and red stripe is 6 inches. And I wanted it to be 6 inches, so I just cut it once because I have plans for the rest of the other 10 by 12 inches of that paper that I'm saving. The paper itself, that red, white, and blue paper that I am putting on last is Paper Studios. The blue star is called, let's see, it's by Paper Pizzazz. I have no idea who that is. And then that red and white stripe is by Kismet. I'm not sure who that is, and I have no clue how long I've had some of this paper. I bought a ton of paper when I went to the Scrapbook outlet in Tennessee when we went for fall break. And the last time I went down there for fall break was in 2014. So it's been 7 years. And a lot of this paper is from that because I bought my husband an army book to scrapbook his deployments in his military career and bought a ton of patriotic papers and military papers and everything when I went. So I am working on getting all these papers down, and my double-sided tape ran out, so I had to grab another one. That's why it's a little thicker. I didn't do that for any reason in particular. It's just because the thinner one ran out. So while I am getting this paper down, I just want to encourage you all to go to all the other videos and on Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life on Facebook, and Scraptember has a Facebook group. And I have gotten so much inspiration from all these amazing scrapbookers. The ones who are running the show, Christy and Laura and the Scrappy sisters, Jess and Katie, are fantastic. And I love watching many other scrapbookers. I started all of this YouTube watching by watching State Goddess, and she's always been one of my favorites, and that is what got me involved and interested in watching YouTube videos and creating them, because I just have gotten so much inspiration from what she does, and I think I've learned a lot and grown a lot and changed a lot in my scrapbooking, and I love it. I don't know how many times in the past, before year 2021, that I scrapbooked a single picture on a page, especially a 12 by 12 page. But I have certainly done a lot of that this year. So, all right, so I've got the first 2 strips down, and I was going to do the next one, and then I realized I wanted to make sure everything was pretty centered. So I decided to go ahead and put my big mat in the middle. I put one piece of a double-sided tape down in the middle of it so that I could tuck underneath without a problem. And I will go back later and take the corner. I have adhesive on the corners as well that I will take the backing off of so that it will tack down everywhere. And so now I am just maneuvering. Now, when I put these strips down, I did not push them down. I just set them down where I wanted them so that I could go back and pick them up like I'm about to do, as carefully as possible as to not tear, although I'm a professional boo-boo fixer, so if I tore some paper, I could totally get behind that and fix it. So after I get this last piece, and it's like the stripes make it hard sometimes because you think you're doing things wonky, but it's the stripes are kind of wonky. So, all right, so now I am going to take care of getting that border that you can't see it anymore because I've moved the sketch for the 90th time. There is what looks to me like a border over there on the side. Oh, look, I'm covered up all over again. So I took these American stickers and decided I would use, originally I didn't even pay attention to that border, And I was going to take this strip and cut a piece out and fishtail it like the banner. But then I decided that I wouldn't do that, and I would just put this in the middle. And it's a little longer than my paper, which is so unusual. Normally it's the other way around. So I put it in the middle so that I could trim the red off both sides, so it didn't have a red top and a white bottom. And so now I cut the top and bottom that overhung off. So now it is white on the top and the bottom. So then I take all these little button-looking star stickers off of that same sheet, so everything's going to match, which I love. I don't do that very often, but I do love that. And I alternate the stars and the hearts and just kind of tilt them in different ways because I don't want to look uniform. And then when I get done with that, I am going to take that fabulous circle that says July 4th on it, and that is going to be my title. Oh, I'm taking the adhesive, ooh, making up words, off the bottom, and I will go probably after the recording is over, take the top two pieces off. All right, so I'm looking to see if I can add any more of those stickers, and I considered adding the flag, but there's really no place for that. I've got a flag on the picture. I've got flags all over the paper. I feel like I have got enough of the stickers on here. So now to the prompt for today. I got the sequins out, and this is a mix of sequins that I purchased at the dollar store as well as Walmart, like a bag at Walmart. And I have the rainbow. I don't have white, so I just alternate between red and blue. I considered doing silver, but I didn't really want to do that. It wouldn't stand out much on the white, and I didn't really want to put that down on the red or blue, so I went ahead and just stuck with red and blue because the background is white, and that brings in lots of white for this page, because I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing anything to the left side of this page except for what you already see. So I'm looking at it now, and I still love it, even though there's this big 2.5 inch, almost 3 inch spread of whiteness up there. But that's okay, because I love the way this layout turned out. So I'm alternating between red and blue, and I just kind of go all the way around and then add a few in the middle. And then I decide, instead of trying to put something fabulous in the middle, I'm going to use my red stickles on the blue sequins and my blue glittery stickles on the red sequins. And I love the way that turns out. Now, if I can keep my hands out of it so I don't accidentally smush it and mess the whole thing up, we'll be in a great place, because I did really well the first couple months working with Stickles, and yesterday I put my hand right in my page, right in there. So I get all my stickles put up, and I'm trying to decide if my page needs anything else, and I'm sorry that it's a little out of view. I just now realized the top little itty bit is not in view. So the sketch calls for some journaling and some phrases. So I decided that I'm going to get my Tim Holtz. And the one that I'm looking at now is the Ideology Metallic Sticker Book. And I'm looking through it, and it's hard to look at directly laying down because it's in gold. And look, I've got 2 of them I've selected. I want 3. So I'm looking for 3 stickers or strips that give me some phrases that I think are fitting of this picture or how this picture makes me feel. So the first one I picked was Tell Your Story. And then I picked another one that says Beautiful Day, because it definitely was. And then there's Beauty in Simplicity. And I feel like this is probably a $5 flag that my husband's aunt bought at Walmart or something like. I mean, it's not a big fancy flag that you buy that flies outside forever and ever and ever. So there is that, and then I realized there is something missing up there, and on the sketch there are some little dollops, and it could just be, I know Laura Alberts does scattering and splattering, and so that very well could just be some splatters, but I decided that I would make that my sequins. So I put some more red, blue sequins up there, and then I pull my stickles back out and put them just like I did on the bottom, red and the blue, blue and the red. And on camera, that is the end. Now, after I stopped recording, I decided where the journaling space is, I would pull a few more sentence strips in, and I pulled those in from the Tim Holt Ideology clipping sticker book, and I just wrote a little sentence that says, "I promise you with all my heart, all the world is beautiful." And I tucked those down in there in between the stars and the hearts, but you won't see that on camera because I did it afterwards. So I'm going to put these stickles in here, and then I'm going to be done. So that'll be the end, and I'm going to show you some close-ups. And I just love the way this page turned out. So I hope you all love this and get some inspiration or just an idea or a thought out of it. And I hope that you all have a great day. And I hope you get a chance to do something you love with someone you love. And there it is. Oh, just love it. Thank you guys. Happy scrapping.